listening to you on your guys' Truth Pod, the very first one, you guys go back, check out the episode. I'm telling you, it's phenomenal. But you were speaking to the ideologies, the fundamentals of the vision that seem to change over time. And again, being a fan of I Am Athlete, I Am NASCAR was coming along. You had I Am Athlete Miami, I Am Athlete LA, I Am Woman, so many political and cultural things that you guys were speaking on. Can you speak to what exactly you were talking about when you said the fundamentals and ideologies? Or was it simply business came to the table and you guys just didn't see it the same and you guys just had to break up that way?
You're a linebacker, Will? Because you that was pretty fucking impressive.
No,
that was impressive.
I appreciate it.
That was sexy.
I was gonna say, I'll let
Right, that was pretty fucking dope.
I'll say first off, like,
You just said you was gonna let Freddie.
No, but I was just
Make sure your mic's close though. Make sure your mic's
I was
close.
just gonna say, getting with RC was one of, like, he was our first option when we had to pivot, and we planned to pivot. And RC's a great dude, great man, known him for years and all that. So from there, you know, it was a transition, and it was a fundamental and an ideology thought of what's going on. But I think Fred has a different thought, or, you know what I'm saying, his thought on it is different than mine, because I'm more of the just move forward with my homeboys type stuff. You know what I'm saying? So whatever Fred got.
So really, you know, really speaking from the bottom of my heart, you know, we didn't just pick Ryan up on the side of the road.
Right.
Obviously, he has a track record. Everything he does, you know, supersedes, you know, what he does. Like, he's just amazing at everything he does. ESPN, the different podcasts that he's been on, et cetera, et cetera. So for us, it was a blessing in disguise to be able to join together with Ryan, create a company, create our show, and really just try and push the culture.
I don't mean to cut Fred off.
Yes, you do. You just
I'm gonna let him finish. I'm gonna let him finish though. No, I'm about to stop. No, I'm about to stop though. I think the biggest thing that Fred said was create a company.
Right.
Yeah.
Because we created a company.
So I'll go
together.
back to that. Right. So with that, we were able to create a company and learn from our previous failures. Because as black men, right, not just black men, as men, former athletes, we always push business, making sure you have your business buttoned up. You know, we learn a lot. You come into the NFL, you come into at such young age, you got agents and all these different people doing stuff for you. And throughout those processes, you learn a little bit. You learn along the way. Mm-hmm. Some guys are more focused on football. They don't try and learn the business side of it. So that sort of, it through being taken advantage of, I had to learn the business side of it, right? Whether it was by financial advisors, from an agent, or whatever. So I said, I'll never let that happen again. So when we entered into, it was spring of 2020, during the quarantine, we called it Quarantine Dreams.
Right.
You know, our former co-host, and Brandon, he stopped by and said, hey, look, guys, you mind doing a podcast? What'd you think about the podcast? Fuck, we are all geek. Let's get out the house.
Yeah.
Let's do it. Let's make it happen. Quarantine Dreams. We all agreed to it, and the show just took off. The show went much faster than the paperwork. The overnight. The business wasn't, you know, we didn't take care of the business. So from that standpoint, and really going back to our first episode in the pivot, right, we took the high road. We decided to take the high road because a lot of the ideologies. Thank you.
Fundamentals.
That was my word.
I know. So I got it, but I'm talking fast. No, you.
Yeah, no. Yeah.
So a lot of those fundamentals, right? We had a lot of visions. You know, we talked a lot about a lot of things, and because we didn't have the business button up, you know, because Brandon made the initial investment, he took it upon himself to gain majority of the control in the ideas and the things that came into place. Fast forward to let's just say March of 2021, we had a second meeting to try and iron out some things. That conversation really didn't go as we all thought. The buy-in sort of was about 20-fold. You know, the valuation of the company, the investment didn't look the same. It was like, but we're buddies. but the business wouldn't tighten up on one end. And then the whole buddy conversation was pretty much thrown out the window. And from there, things started to, we still service the show, although we didn't have any real skin in the game. We were just merely talent at that point and not really doing it for what we thought we would do it for, which was ownership. So fast forward, man, and still taking the high road a bit because a lot of people's livelihoods are at stake, and I don't want to talk too much about it. And that's old news now. We're not competing against them. We're just trying to create content bridges, man, and give the people something to enjoy. Same organically and through good conversation. I was saying a second ago, Ryan is amazing. So he helps us. He helps us a ton, and we do what we do. Channing, he's the asshole. He's always gonna be.
You're Unc. You're
I'm Unc. I listen.
Yeah, you're
I listen, and then I talk. Right. And I always the perception is I am smarter than what comes across because I listen. No, I'm not smarter than you. I just listen.
No, I'm just playing. But the thing is,
and we developed the show.
It's it's where you have to that's why we called it a pivot, and that's why it wasn't a mistake. RC, was it a mistake to pivot? You know what I'm saying? Like it wasn't like it was overnight. Like we saw it, we saw what was going on, and we said we had to move in a different direction.
Right.
Business wise, and we still love. You know what I'm saying? We still support everything that B's doing, and wanting to be successful. But we just see like. There's a goal. There's a finish line. Everything has a finish line.
Mm-hmm.
And I would say this about business. Mm-hmm. And I don't know what y'all got going. I don't know what y'all got doing. This bus is beautiful.
Appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying? Like, it's a cool concept.
Very low investment.
This jug is dope. Like, when I got to be here, it was crazy.
Hey, Taylor.
Yeah, listen.
You think I need to tell you it's a very low investment to have fucking cork board? And
hey, that actually we had to put in. for sound.
Yeah, for the sound. So I know it's a very low investment, but it's just the vision of what business was going to be. And as we continue to grow, let me know if I'm wrong, Freddie. As we continue to grow, the business concept wasn't the same.
Mm-hmm.
And at some point, you have to just talk, and we sat down and talked, and we just did it and was like, no, well, if you want to go this way, that's cool,
that's
but
fine.
We don't want to go that way.
Right.
We don't want to do, we don't want to own gyms. We don't want to support this. We don't want to support that. We want to worry about our talent on this podcast.
Mm.
And that's the thing that it was just like, listen, we're gonna do this media platform, and that's what we want to do. That's all we want to do. And I would say Brandon wanted to do something bigger than that. And
that's fine.
I didn't believe in it.
That's fine.
I didn't believe in that bigger vision.
What?
And we just had to.
We weren't involved in the long game.
Yeah, and that's
but
that makes more sense.
We could have been involved.
You wanted to do off that. You guys weren't involved in that necessarily.
Yeah, I mean, in a nutshell,
we
weren't.
Of you guys,
like in I Am Athlete Miami, and that was essentially
No, not so much. It was, from the start. I myself expressed ownership, right? And we really couldn't get the business button up and come to an agreement of what those percentages look like.
Yeah.
And it keeps growing each week.
See, but that's where it shouldn't be the case because there's a filibuster, happening right in front of me.
Right.
I'm sitting here like, what the fuck? My sweat is traveling alongside the growth of the podcast. So I deferred every dollar, from a talent standpoint back into the company.
Mm-hmm.
So that travels with the company and the business and the valuation. But if I can't get the same valuation, where the thought commenced, right? Where we all started, then there's a problem. So those numbers weren't valued appropriately, and I felt that was a bit of slap in the face.
Mm-hmm.
And this is me just talking my own situation.
Yeah, absolutely. This
I'm not
is your own
speaking
thing,
to
absolutely.
No.
And with that, the paperwork wasn't in place. We were trying to figure out that language and what that looked like, not just from an equity standpoint, because what was offered was revenue sharing. That's more of a partnership in my mind. That's not ownership.
Mm-hmm.
Equity is ownership. So the conversation was sort of overlapping and confusing from that side, I knew exactly what I signed up for. So when we couldn't see eye to eye on that, I said, you know what? Retroactively, pay me and I'll step aside and we'll sign whatever agreements for name, image, likeness so you can keep your content. Otherwise, I can be a dick and say, you know what? We never had any paperwork in place. Let's take down all this fucking content.
Mm-hmm.
And then that's a bigger problem. So I didn't want to be the bad guy.
What stopped you from doing that?
I don't want to be a bad guy.
Yeah.
I'm rooting for those guys. Whatever direction they go in. I'm really rooting for them because we can still have. It's a fucking million fucking. It's so many people in this country.
There's no
and
limit.
So many people across the globe,
there's
right?
There's no limited subscribers on YouTube.
Right.
We can all do great
So,
without the hate, without the BS. People want the drama.
Right.
The drama sells.
There's enough money. There's enough all of it.
The drama.
But
The
it's
drama
short-lived.
sells.
It's short-lived. It's not a long game.
So we can talk that shit and have their subscribers and other ears and everything else come to the pivot. But people are in that space. People aren't loyal and they don't have to be.
Right.
They just want content. They want to listen to some stuff. They want to see some stuff. They want to laugh. They want to feel good about themselves. Just like sitting here with Bussin With The Boys. You guys got your space and what people want to hear and see. And we can come on here and people come over and check us out. People from the pivot will come check you guys out. They like it. They love it. They're going to stay. They want to hear and see more. If they don't, they're going to keep pushing. But you know what I'm saying? That it's vice versa. I think it's enough for all of us.
I hope you guys like this clip. If you want to continue to be for the boys, you need to like this video, subscribe to the channel, share with a friend, and check out our playlist. We have all the links right here on the screen. As always, biggest of hugs and tiniest of kisses. Also, go check out the full episodes, but always for the boys.